If you don't mind, can you open in the word of prayer?
Our Father God in heaven, we thank you for this opportunity that we can come today and meet and discuss our county businesses. And now, as we always do, we ask for your guidance and your wisdom in making these decisions. Father, we ask you to be with this county, be with this state, and just look over us and keep us, the leaders, running in a straight path that's going to be the best for all of us. And we pray for this country. We pray for all the people in the world. We pray for the people over in Israel on both sides that are being killed and hurt. And we just pray that hopefully they'll come to some sort of agreement and stop all the bombing and killing there, especially in Ukraine also. Father, we just ask you to be with us as we go through this meeting. Guide and direct us, and it's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. If you would, join me in salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. And what's great about our country is we can sit here and we can agree and disagree on things all day long. But I know at the end of the day we have the love in our hearts about brotherhood and caring for our neighbors, and that's why I like Spencer County, because that's what goes on here. And it's not something we need to take lightly. It's not something that's an instant given. But we have to examine our hearts and look about how we need to, do every day in our lives. So, anyhow, we'll go ahead and get started on our meeting. Madam Clerk, if you would, call the roll, please.
Squire Stump.
Here.
Squire Ferris.
Here.
Squire Eldridge.
Here.
Judge Travis.
Here.
Squire Travis.
Here.
Squire Cotton.
Yeah, he's here. He went to. I got another ink deal.
I was gonna give us one back to you.
All right.
I got one.
Here you go.
I have one. Here it is, Rick.
All right. Next on the agenda is approval of the minutes. I did find a few changes that I'd like to point out. Page 11 and 12, and I'm going by the numbers at the bottom of the page, the bottom right. The part where we talked about the broadband expansion there at the bottom. I don't know, Lynn, if you can see where I have an X. This, what the folks from Charter gave me, I'd rather that not be in there. Part of it is, he came over and visited with me, and I know I give it out to the magistrates, but that's still a work in progress, so I'd like to strike that. And then on page 12 at the top, none of your language, Lynn, just the that little handout thing that we had that has the charter and the spectrum. And then on page 23, 24, 25, and 26, all the communication between the email communication. The first two lines up at the top of page 23 are good. And then where it says from Sturgill, basically all the way down, that email. On page 24, it's more emails. Page 25 is also full of emails, 25 at the bottom. And then the top half of 26, where the email there from Tourism Development Director. I think all that needs to be struck because that's not pertinent to the minutes. Page 27, where it says 3A, amending ordinance, says disregarding a God licensing fee, that should be dog. So the G and the D need to change.
Where was that?
On page 27 at the bottom, and then it's up at 3A. Up here. See G-O, God instead of dog. And anyway, also no action was taken. I'd like to add the language under that 3A that no action was taken. Page 34. When we were talking about McKinley Creek, the very top line, they live right there at the end of Delta Road and Ridgeview. I know that should be Plum Creek. Delta Road and Plum Creek. And then page 36, need to take a zero out of the dollar amount there under where it says certificate of deposit, under 4. Well, there towards the end, it says, he said they could put 5,000, yeah, which would be 5 million. But anyway, we just need to drop a zero there, because it was 500,000 in that conversation. But anyhow, those are the changes that I see that we need to make to the minutes. Anyone else have observations?
Motion to approve the minutes as stated and revised.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Jim, seconded by Will, to approve the minutes with the changes that were mentioned and revisions. Any discussion?
I'd just like to say that I'd like to start getting the minutes a little earlier. It's hard for the rifle to do it over the weekend. And I forget some of the stuff that was said from one meeting to the next. And almost 2 weeks later, it's hard for me to go back through and remember exactly what I said and see if the minutes is an accurate representation or exact, when it says Squire Stump said this, Squire Stump said that, I don't know if that's exactly what I said or not. And then some of these minutes I still think are a little too fat. It should be cut down to more topic of discussion, what motion was made, what action was, who seconded her,
Yeah.
and then a supporting document of whatever we voted on, rather than all the discussion of some of these other things. But I don't feel comfortable voting in favor of these minutes when we get them this late. So I'm gonna vote no.
All right. So, I know we've been working throughout the year to try to get them earlier and get them condensed, and we'll continue to work to that end.
You can go on Facebook to the live video and kind of scroll through it and go back and forth and listen to actually what was said. I know it's hard to do that, but
I know, but I sat through a 4-hour meeting. I don't want to watch it again. If I could just get it quick enough where I could remember it. But I know what you're saying,
But anyway, any other discussion on the minutes? All right, hearing none, all those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
No.
All right, motion passes. Next is a communication from citizens. Does anyone in the audience like to address the court? All right. We'll move on to Julie. You're up.
All right, we have 2 second readings this morning.
And we don't have them in our book that I saw.
I don't have nothing about
So-
it on me.
I don't think I sent them over. Normally we send the minutes over for the first reading, but I will say I did not resend, the.
Yeah, the second reading? Okay.
Yeah. So
All right,
that's
we'll
my bad on that,
we'll get on the same page with that,
okay,
so
okay.
next time. All's well.
All right, so I will make sure that I resend for second readings. On this, just the main sheet, that way you've got it for me. Okay, so, like I said, we have 2 second readings. The first one is William and Linda Middleton, requesting Ag 1 agricultural to R3 residential on 1.116 acres located at 1298 Drake Ridge Road. Commissioner Wheatley made a motion to recommend a rezone the application of William and Linda Middleton, requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to R3 residential on 1.116 acres located at 1298 Drake Ridge Road. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends medium density residential The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan. There will be a binding element of only one resident on this tract. There was no one there to speak against it. Commissioner Mudd seconded that motion. After a roll call vote, motion carried, and that's in Zach's district.
Motion to approve zoning change based on the facts and findings of the planning and zoning commission.
Second.
We have a motion by Zach, seconded by Mike, to approve the zoning change, based on the facts and findings of the planning and zoning of the Middleton property. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion passes. All right, Julie.
Okay, next I have an application of Robert Willett requesting Ag 1 agricultural on tract 1, consisting of 6.80 acres, and Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on tract 2, consisting of 1.07 acres at 1815 Hookstrasser Road. Commissioner Mudd made a motion to recommend a rezone the application of Robert Willett, requesting zone change from Ag 1 agricultural to Ag 2 agricultural on tract 1, consisting of 6.80 acres, and Ag 1 agricultural to R1 residential on tract 2, consisting of 1.07 acres, located at 1815 Hochstrasser Road. The recommended land use map in the comprehensive plan recommends medium density residential. The change would be in compliance with the comprehensive plan, and there was no one there to speak against it. Commissioner Fowl seconded that motion. After a roll call vote, motion carried. And that one is in Jim's.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the zone change recommended by the facts and recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Jim, seconded by Zach, to approve the change on the Willett property, based on facts and findings of planning and zoning. Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead.
That property is Tom and Penny Burns' old place, is that correct? Old farmhouse?
Yeah, Casey Colin, I don't think lived there before these people bought it.
Okay, now, will that be divided up to where they can build a house or something facing Ostrasser?
I mean, like you're saying where the old house is, the Ag 2 portion is the old house and the barns
Right.
and the lake. There is the lot to the left where there used to be like a garage apartment or something, that's where that 1 acre tract is. So that's the most they could do, would be to do a house on that tract, because there's already a house on the other one. But the people that have this actually bought the land behind it as well. They bought it's a big house there that's on, I think Willow, whatever that subdivision is
I think it's actually a little hit the river.
Okay, I was just wondering because of, widening Ostrasser there, which is narrow,
there. They didn't do enough tracks. If,
Right.
if they'd added more tracks, that would have got them to the point where they would have had to widen.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I have a question for you, Julie, before you go. Which hasn't been discussed with the court, but it's a good time to bring it up. The container deal, you can't have a container in Spencer County, and Scott briefly discussed this the other day. What would we need to do if the court thought it was right? I think that should be changed where, it's acceptable to have one of the containers, especially like Ag 1.
Something like a shipping container?
That you can't have them in Spencer County, no one, correct?
Right.
No matter what kind of zone you are. What, if the court decides steps that we need to do that?
You would have to amend the regulations.
That's what I
So
figured.
you would make a recommendation back to the planning commission to amend the zoning regulations to take that out of there. And then they would have to do the public hearing on it and kick it back to you.
And after they went through that process, and then if we approved it, then it would be law then.
Right.
Okay.
I just know when we wrote the regulations, the reason they put that in there was there's several sitting around after they sit for a long time. If they're not maintained, then they begin to have a rust look to them, they just weren't
How people like
attractive.
that nowadays,
And-
Julie? Trust me.
Yeah.
But I'm giving you reasoning why. And then too, it's very common that, wherever they come in and they drop them, that's where they stay. So then you've got them sitting every which way possible instead of organized, I guess.
The same thing, if someone don't maintain their house, it's an eyesore.
Right.
If you're agriculture or Ag 1 and you want a shipping container to store your stuff in, I just assume someone store it in something and let it scatter out everywhere.
I think it'd be something, if you decided to send a recommendation back to change that, maybe put a few things on there that they need to meet the same criteria as a building, you know, like a structure or something, so that way they have
Houses and
meet
stuff like that.
setbacks
I don't see
and,
nothing
you
wrong
know,
with that.
something, you know, maybe a maintenance, something to do with maintenance of it or something.
Yeah, I asked Julie about it maybe a couple months ago, and, you know, I've been giving it some thought, and they are good for storage on the farms, you know, because they're mostly watertight. But anyhow, you know, some thoughts I have is we could, you know, ask for the change for Ag 1. We could probably even do Ag 1 or Ag 2, and then have a stipulation that, you know, if people don't like the looks of them, that they need to be out of sight. You know, or we could allow it, but you have to go through the Board of Adjustments. I mean, there's several ways we could do it to get it where it needs to be to benefit all parties. So, I mean, if you guys would like to think about it, we meet in a couple of weeks, we could discuss it then. And then while you're up here, I'd also like to, if there's any way we can get our distillery regulations all put together. I'd really like to go into the new year with that being in the works. Maybe we could make a recommendation to you all next meeting about a few things. I'll challenge, you know, let's do this. On a rainy day, go catch Julie with any zoning things that everyone thinks we might need to do a little changing. And then next meeting, we can, you know, we'll bring them to the table and talk about them. Because, you know, the process is, we'll decide, we'll vote, and what votes in the affirmative, we'll send to them. They'll go through the hearing process. And that's where the public can come and debate pro and con, and recommendations will come back to us. So,
I will say, on the distillery stuff, most of that is written in there and in place, and I was working with Lisanna on it. We were trying to get it to where we did it all in one fell swoop, so that we had distilleries and wineries and everything, and that's
Yeah.
what we were in the works. We were getting our verbiage on wineries together to put in there, and then
yeah,
it's no longer with us, so
Yeah.
now I'm just I got pieces of the puzzle, I just don't have it put together. Because she was more knowledgeable on that than I was. I mean, I've not ever dealt with wineries or distilleries.
but anyway, let's, you know, let's work on that in the next 2 weeks, and then, you know, next meeting is the last meeting of this year. And I'm sure we'll be busy first meeting in January. But, you know, anything in zoning that you guys think we need to make a change to make it better, go see Julie. And let's have those discussions and start the process. That's how democracy works.
While you're here, did you, I know the last meeting, you know, asked about how much money we have in the state grant for the pickup. Did you ever check and see how much? Because on our last.
Well, Doug gave numbers at the last meeting.
Yeah, but
and
it
then
really
I've
wasn't accurate.
got-
Wasn't-
Well, I mean, the numbers that he had, we've just, you know, we've still got a few outstanding groups. I've got one that did all of West River Road and Bowman over the weekend. They've still got East River to finish out theirs. That'll be around $700-800. I know I had 2 groups, I think, turned in. It should be on your bills today. And then there's one more outstanding group, you know, at this point. I put in an order for more bags and grabbers and, you know, more supplies for next year. So once we get that taken out of there, I'm not real sure. I'm gonna say that's probably a couple $1,000 or close to it.
Well, could you, before our next meeting, maybe come up with some figures on, you know, what we spent, what we got? Because we want to turn that money back over to the state. We've been doing it every year, and, you know, I think we need to spend it. It's a grant, and, but bring us some true facts and figures. Because what Doug had, and it's not Doug, but, you know, he spent $1,700 out of $32,000 since January,
Right.
which you know that's not correct.
Well, I mean, I don't mind to do that for you, but I think that needs to come from your solid waste coordinator instead of me. All I do is people sign up for the trash pickup through my office, and then I make sure they turn everything back in, and I send it on across, you know, for it to be paid. So I don't,
Okay,
I'll be honest, I don't keep up with the figures because that's what I, I just agreed to be the drop-off pickup point for the trash pickup stuff. But, I mean, I don't mind to do it, but I
I'll
think
get with Karen.
she might have more information for you than I would.
And there's a possibility, of course, Todd's back there, like if the road department guys goes out and cleans up the couch, if somebody pitched that on the road, or Karen's office. I don't know if y'all have any of those that we can still turn in and apply towards it. But we'll gather it all up. We'll
Right.
get all the numbers gathered up.
Yeah. Because, I mean, we just organize that they do the pickup, then once the pickup is done, they call state or county highway department, whichever one it is, they go pick up the bags and put them in a dumpster. So I don't know how that funding would work, in helping pay those dumpster fees and,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Can you go and buy $15,000 worth of trash bags at the end of it?
Probably not.
I tell you what, sometimes
said
stop
that.
and I'll show you how I store stuff.
Yeah.
We do
I
have
got
three
stuff
groups
trained
on,
about every freaking thing I
we
can
do have three groups on the bills for tonight.
find. Yeah, I knew there was a couple and you'll have a couple more. I think that'd probably be about all you'll get for the rest of the year because of weather coming in.
Yeah, driving around, I mean, I've seen a lot of activity in the last couple of months.
We had one man that picked up all of, he did 44 going up towards the lake. He did that all by himself and got 116 bags. I think it was a little more than he realized what he was getting into. But he did it.
That's off the
Right back, yeah.
Dedication.
All right, any other questions or comments for Julie? All right, thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Julie. Chris?
I'll start by apologizing out for the printing for you guys. I was in the hospital with my wife all day Friday, so I got these numbers, but for November of 23, our total collections are $89,298.86, bringing our fiscal year total to $438,052.31. And as of this morning, we've completed 2,188 runs. So that's all.
Is the money above a year ago?
I think we're kind of on par a little bit.
Okay.
I'd have to sit down and look at last year's spreadsheets also.
Well, I know in the last 3 or 4 years, they've gone up because you have a better way of collecting.
Correct. It looks like right now our year-end targeted amount, let me find it on here, is just shy of $1 million in collections. 937,871 is what their year-end target is so far. So, and that sort of changes each month with our collections. So.
Is our run volume increasing?
Our run volume
last year?
is up by 35% to date this year over last year. So it's a lot more.
Here, one more question from the distribution. Okay, I know you said the fire department agreed.
The fire department has agreed to allow us to put distribution boxes at the fire stations. It's just figuring out the right type of box and how much we want to put there. I don't want to put 12 doses there. I would, in my brain, maybe have like 2, 3, 4 doses available at each station.
Just have a stockpile at the firehouse?
Yes, I talked to the fire chief, and we were kind of thinking a box similar to like what's down here in front of the Fix-It shop, just a box you can just walk over. But they sell fancy boxes that are monitored and everything else, but I don't know that we need to get into all that. I'm thinking a weatherproof metal box of some sort, or wooden box of some sort, that just got a door on it, you can reach in and grab it. Haven't got all that worked out yet.
What about the ones at the schools? Mark-in boxes at schools?
After the court approved them to purchase those, I would let them know that the court made the approval, and honestly, I haven't.
Don't know where we're at.
I assume that when they get them in, they should deliver a receipt or invoice to your office, so. I was kind of the middleman in that. So,
If y'all could check on that.
I'll text Cindy now.
Yeah, and maybe that way we can tell us next meeting.
Okay.
And then I'll also try to get those tornado things checked out.
Yeah, we're working on that now.
Yeah, I'd really love to come in next meeting and say they all work with this one, but now it's fixed.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Chris. Sheriff.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Always like to kind of give an update of what the sheriff's office has been up to for the last month and what we're planning on in the next month. Anyway, taxes, collecting's going good. I apologize, I didn't ask Sharon the exact amount we're at, we're probably at 97, 98%. We're still collecting a few taxes every day, but for bulk, it really amazes me how many people want that little discount. And sometimes it's not really a little discount, but people really fight to get in there and get that. But we're still collecting some taxes every day, so we're still moving with that. Tonight we'll be going to the Walmart in Shuttville to do our Christmas Kids campaign, Christmas Smiles campaign. We'll be spending about $4,500 of money that we raised at the Jeep ride to buy those kids Christmas. We usually have about 10 kids, and we get those kids to the school system. That's how and we don't know the kid's name, all we know is sizes and what they like and that type of thing. Also, if there's any churches, any other organizations that need a little help, we'll have money that we'll be glad to donate and help. We usually always try to get $500 to the food campaign, so we're hoping to do that again. So anyway, it's Christmas and everybody's trying to help out everybody. We'll have our Christmas party at the extension office at 6 o'clock this Wednesday. All of you are invited to come. I don't know about the laws of everybody being there and all, but you're all welcome to be there at 6 o'clock. We'll have a meal and a little awards presentation, and mainly just get together and have a little camaraderie meeting. But that'll be 6 o'clock at the extension office on Wednesday. Recruit McGehee, he has retired.
That was quick.
Graduated. Boy, I bet he'd be happy. Graduated from the academy. He is riding along with other officers, and we'll be doing that for a few more weeks. He's doing fantastic. I've had him out with me on a few calls and kind of testing him. I'm going, what's that other form when you fill out? He knows what it is, you know. So he's pretty sharp on what they trained him well. So anyway, we are wanting to buy, our next thing is Kevin Stallings. He received the Governor's DUI Award this time. He's done an excellent job, and so we're very proud of him. Him and Chief Deputy Ware went to the meeting, the award banquet up in, was it in Richmond or Frankfurt? Lexington. Well, I was in the area. Lexington to attend that. So very proud of him. We're talking about storage containers. We may already have bought one. I told David Jewell that we wanted, there was 2 old used ones up there that, if we could get them for a certain price. We wanted to put one of them in our storage lot just to store a lot of stuff in, back in the back corner of it. Should I proceed with that or should I wait a while? Huh?
You bought one.
I did buy one? Okay, I wasn't upset.
Standing there when it sold.
Okay, well. Put it in there and then y'all find us, I guess, I don't know. So we do, the lands, we put the razor wire, complete the razor wire, that has been completed. The lock system on the gate we were not satisfied with, and they have fixed that. Our next step is putting cameras on it, which I'm gonna work with the judge on that, on possibly some used cameras that we got or something. But other than that, everything, we do have the big light put up at the electric company, so the lot is, let's say 95 or better completed. And that was in record time, and I appreciate y'all's fast acting on that.
You did sell some trailers that you
Oh,
had.
well, that's on the list.
Okay.
Don't rush me, Judge, I'm slow.
I'm trying to not have a 4-hour meeting.
Okay,
That's
okay.
all.
All right, I got that.
That's all.
Okay, we're looking at updating our body cameras. The body cameras that we bought, we like them. They're a little bit confusing with their buttons and all the stuff. They've come out with another one that just on, off, simple. And they will be Bluetooth, where when we turn on the lights on the car or speak on the radio, however we want to rig it up, they'll automatically come on. Cause in a tense moment sometimes, we're just human, you forget to turn it on, you know. So, and we're also looking at dash cam. And I'm planning on buying all this drug seizure money, so I still like to tell y'all what we're looking at. The dash cam gives a different view. If the body camera fails, the dash cam picks up. We are in the day and age that if you don't have video, it didn't happen, or you did something wrong. You know, we got to be able to prove just some of the dumbest stuff, we have to prove it. Here it is, you know, and, you know, he knows what I'm talking about, because we all the time providing video. So anyway, we're looking at that. We sold 3 trailers and a car at Jules. I assume they all sold. I haven't talked to David yet.
Well, you started a boat too.
The boat wasn't supposed to be sold yet, so. Okay. I told him to pull the boat out, but we will deal with it as we come. And I know David has so much going on up there, he can't keep up, but the boat was supposed to have been held for a little bit longer. But anyway, I don't think none of us getting too much trouble over it. Okay, the next thing is I want to hand out some,
No, one trailer sold pretty good, I saw it on the internet.
part of the dump truck.
Dump trailer,
Yeah, that's a nice trailer. This is for information. I'm not looking for anybody to vote on anything today. This is part of our trying to inform y'all, give y'all information so you can make an informed decision rather than just kind of taking a stab in the dark. We've tried to really put up the figures. I want to thank Lieutenant Minton. She's been a big help on gathering this information. We have a numerous array of options. And I'll try to go through these real quick. It's really pretty self-explanatory. It's current staff with no raise. You can see what it is. And it goes across there with $1 raise, $1.25 raise, $1.50 raise, and $1.50 and 75 increase. And then the maximum cost of insurance. Then it goes down, current with experience pay. And that's longevity pay that we talked about. You know, somebody that's got 5, 10 years on or so. That's the people we'd like to start attracting to come work at the Spencer County Sheriff's Office. We would like to have 2 additional deputies, but we have put in here what it would cost for 1 more deputy, what it would cost for 1 additional deputy plus the experience pay to be added in, 2 additional deputies, and 2 additional plus experience pay in there. The insurance here, that doesn't include Fiscal, dental, and vision. Just want you to know that. Experience pay is 5% at 5 years, and then 5% at 10 years or more. You know, once they got 5 years, they get 5% bump. Once they got 10 years, they get another 5% bump. And that's trying to keep people staying with us. We have been informed, I won't say which county, but a county very near to us that has joined us is planning on giving their deputies a $3 raise here very soon. And we had, at one time when we got a 15% raise, we were ahead of them. Their immediate response was to give all the people a raise. So we don't start really come to here. Whenever we'll catch him. When I'm talking about pay, I know we can't compete with a lot of these places, but I do want to be competitive, you know, within the reach of where I can keep the good deputies we have, where the money isn't enough that they choose to leave, they choose to stay. Any questions? And of course, we'll be dealing with salary cap. Which meeting do we do that? Last December, 1st January?
It'll be in January.
Okay. Please, anytime, like I've said 1,000 times, come, ask me questions. We'll be glad to sit down and explain. And, I mean, it's possible we got something wrong in there. If we do, bring it up to us. Let us know.
I got a question. Would it be possible for you and all the department heads to have all this information in the packet? Because we have nothing in the packet.
Well, like I said, this is, if y'all were going to be voting on something today, I would have had this to you a long time ago.
Well,
This is just for you to look at for the next month almost.
well, I mean, it would be good for, I think, for all of us to have this for 3 or 4 days to look at it before the meeting, just to understand where you're coming from, and this and that.
Okay.
So, I mean, I just leave that to the judge to,
Yeah.
the department heads to do that, because it seems like, Chris didn't have anything, you don't have anything in the packet, so,
Well, okay.
His wife was in the hospital, but
I
anyway.
thought it would be better if I gave it to you today and then let you start next month. But, I'll be glad to do however you want it done. And we did just now get all this, well, actually, we didn't finish it till this morning, get it all together.
Yeah, I'd like to see, I mean, I know budget's coming up, so when you propose your salary cap to us, that it be broken down into, okay, this officer's gonna be on the street, here's how long they've been here, how much they're gonna make.
Okay?
That, so we can know, okay, do we have any 5-year officers? Are they gonna be in the 1-year range? What are they doing?
Mhm.
And, that type of thing. I think they did that once before.
Okay, I think it's more than better.
I have that, when I did the chart here for that, I have all of that already. And I can send you what each individual officer makes, and then also if they would fall into that 5-year category. And then, as far as like, when I figured the adding an additional with experience, I figured that on the high end, just to be safe, whether they had 5 years of experience or 10 years of experience, I figured it on the 10-year experience portion, just to make sure that if we did hire somebody, that would be covered in regards to that. But I have the spreadsheet broke down, and I can have that, I can email that
Yep.
and send that out, and it also shows what we pay in regards, to their benefits, whether or not that we pay, a hazardous duty, retirement match on each individual. And so when I also figured an additional employee, I figured it so that we would have to pay, retirement match on each individual. So I can send that out, and I have that for each individual, so there's 30 different spreadsheets that I did basically.
I'd
So,
also like to see what are their jobs. Are they
Yep.
a patrol officer?
and it's listed on there what each one of them is, if they're patrol officer, court security, and so on. So,
I think what Dan's saying, and I agree, is, instead of sending it out to an email, put a package together and give it to Brittany so she can put it in the packet. Instead of email to the judge, and then he's gotta send it out, blah, blah, blah. You do it in a
the
in a
spreadsheets
total
are
package.
just really big to print, so, I mean, I can
We
do
got
that.
some good printers.
Okay.
Let's,
Oh, I need one, by the way, but yeah.
let's, and I think this will satisfy everybody, and this is what I'm hearing. I know that we gotta decide in both the offices, Lynn and Scott, you guys, we gotta, vote on the salary cap first of the year. It would be great if you could get all this information that we have just talked about and get that to us as soon as, and then we'll send it out. It would be great if we all had it over Christmas, where we can, not we can discuss it, but Will can, think about it, read it, think about it. And then they can question you, what about this, what about that,
That's open communication.
Right. And then, Lynn, with your office and your needs, kind of the same way, if you could send it to my office and we can email it out. If y'all rather have it in print, we'll print it for you. You
I'll
guys,
deliver it to your front door, how's that?
But I know a little later, we've got a letter in here about you guys' budgets. Well, I kind of got both of you here, got your attention at once, but, your budgets are supposed to be in, I think, the 15th. That's a holiday, so we're not going to meet until after Martin Luther King Day. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's Martin Luther King Day. We're not going to meet until after that. So we pretty well, unless we have a special call meeting to approve your budgets, we'll need them first of the year.
We'll be ready.
So, but anyhow, I just wanted to point that out. But by all means, when you all get your salary cap ideas together, please submit them to us.
Okay.
And then we'll email it out to everyone, and then that way over Christmas we can.
Okay. Well, hopefully what we've been doing over the last 2 or 3 months has been helpful to y'all, by giving you information for you to look at And, you know, and we didn't want to just flood it all on you at one time, and none of it really made sense. That's why we've broken it down and been bringing it to you. That's not a problem at all, and we'll get to work on it immediately.
All right.
Any questions from you?
When you said
Yes, sir.
budget, are you including office operating expenses? in the
Well, I'll
budget?
cover it. I've got a cover page here in a minute, that talks about you guys' budgets has to be in. Rob Brown sent us a letter, said that I think they're due by the 15th of January. And, it's in here somewhere, but we'll get to it in a little minute, but yeah, the operating budget, I think, is supposed to be for us to accept, approve, whatever by the 15th, and that's holiday. So, but we'll get to that.
And to make sure we're on the same page, we can maybe try to start getting, if we can get that information like at the next meeting, that'd be cool. That way, we're not at the last meeting before the 15th trying to hash out everything. If there's some things that we want to discuss with you guys at a meeting before then, we get some things altered down, then that way we don't have to have a 6-hour salary cap meeting right before the 15th, if we can kind of preemptively work on it or ask you all questions at a meeting between now and then.
Yeah, especially, I mean, just like you guys got, I think you all got most of the information figured out. You know, get it sent to us where I can get it all sent to
Makes
me.
these smoke coming out of the sheriff's office from the pink printer's firing off here.
All right.
And as far as operational, you know, if you foresee some big expenses coming up, let's talk about it now instead of having surprises through the year, you know. So if you think if there's anything that you know of now, put it in that information.
I don't know of anything, I mean, we're pretty good shape on vehicles.
Well, that's kind of, anything like vehicles or big expense, like, if you're gonna come back with a taser or something that you think you're gonna want to upgrade throughout the year.
Check on guns, I mean,
But is he, which is good if you don't do anything,
capital,
we would try to budget for it at the beginning of the year, and then instead of trying to scrape it up come June or May or whatever.
All right, any other comments for the sheriff? All right, thank you, Scott. Parks, Michael?
I got one thing, if it's okay with you guys, I wanted to get with Brian, I wanted to think about, I know when I was down there with my kid playing soccer and stuff down in Waterford Park, it's look at that cable on one side, it's hanging down low, and all, everybody's like running, jumping over it, and this, that, and the other, and then got the bin blocks on the other side. And I was thinking about maybe trying to see about just putting some gates across there. Of course, you still got the walk path around it, but that'll keep people from possibly jumping over that and falling down, and maybe be a little bit more aesthetically appealing to the eye. If it's okay with the court, I'd like to proceed and talk to Brian. Just something simple, couple of posts and maybe some tartar gates across there, just to help mitigate somebody fall hurt themselves on a concrete block or tripping over that cable. The cable looks bad with that piece of yellow pipe across it and everything, which got.
All right, yeah, by all means, make the talk, you're a parks contact from court, so by all means.
Well, I'm just gonna make sure that Brian didn't have a problem with, if we did that with him and a couple of his guys, just gonna put them up and we'll get some prices together and I'll come back to you guys if it's okay.
Yeah.
Or if anybody's got any other ideas other than that, I'll leave it.
I know, Frankie went down there, helped winterize that park. Are all the parks winterized?
We're gonna discuss that a little later. So, but, I was gonna mention to you, Mike,
219, 3 days, we should have that winterized already.
correct. The, Ray Jewell, the other morning I had breakfast with a couple of folks that are very involved in the youth sports, with their kids and so forth, and I shared with them our idea of what the new Ray Jewell Park could be, and in that, we discovered that we didn't have enough fields, so now we have enough fields. It's just, we have enough field, but maybe we gotta create fields. And I invited them I said, get your members, and I wanna tell this to the whole community. All the community sports teams that need a place that's flat, that's grass, we got that now. Come spring, we'll be ready there'll be enough fields for everyone. Now, we'll have to make some parking. Of course, we got the road department to help us and get that, and we kept the price down on everything we did at Ray Jewell Park. But I invited these two dads, sports promoters with the kids, get your group together, drive in there behind the dollar store and look at the new Ray Jewell Park. I call it 2.0 sometimes. Look at Ray Jewell 2.0 and envision what you would like to see for what does your organization need. And I told them, and I've also told Brian Spencer, next spring, we are not going to lock any parks. There's not going to be a padlock on Waterford or Ray Jewell Park. I told Brian, if you see a lock, you can't find who has it, take bolt cutters and cut it off.
I figured we was getting ready to have this discussion with the
Yes,
turn, going into the new year. That's been a sore point with a lot of people, and I understand that people have leads and they prep
Yes.
fields and stuff, but they're gonna have to come up with a different plan, because essentially, every citizen in this community pays taxes that goes towards that park.
Yes.
And every citizen in this community has a right to use that park to its fullest extent. And, you know, I know that's probably gonna rub some people the wrong way, but, we have to be fair with how we,
Right.
delegate our parks.
and I invite every member of the court to talk to any of the youth leagues and tell them, if, in case they don't know, what we have done. But, you know, the previous courts back 15 years ago in 2009, I think, when they purchased that land to build parks, it just never materialized. But now we have places, it's materialized now. So we can move forward, and we don't want them fighting over the fields. I fully understand, and you guys have volunteered over the years with your kids and relatives, helping with sports. We all know that the volunteers come in, they spend their own money, their own time, and they'll make a field work out for their particular sport. Yeah, they have some ownership in that field, because they have some skin in that game. But then, and when they do have a tournament coming up, yes, I can see where what we have done worked to the best we could do. But now that we have all these additional fields, we need to do it differently. But I invited them to go take a look, see what they envision, come back and say, we would like to do this, this, or this, and that we would consider how we go forward with that. You know, what I see, and I shared this with them, and I think I was feeling what, you know, the feeling of the group is. You know, for example, if this one girls fast pitch softball, if they want to go in and put up a temporary fence or build a permanent fence and do something, yes, we could say that, you know, this area would be for you guys. But I don't want, now if you're having a tournament, maybe, but we're not locking the other ones. Whereas before, they've been locking the other ones. But when the tournament's over, then, you know, you're out. It's Publix again, so. But,
I don't know, you know, what the answer is, you know, I mean, we ought to think about putting some more money into the parks, which I know that's probably a sore subject. I don't know if you can talking about spending more money on parks, but, you know, when people in these leagues put money into the parks, you know, building a temporary fence, or they're gonna paint this, or they're gonna construct a building there to store supplies, or this, that, and other, and they feel some sense of ownership in that. They don't want somebody coming and tearing up what they put in, or this, that, and other. But sometimes I feel like it goes too far. You know, somebody's like, well, you know, we painted this building here, so now we own this field.
yeah,
It's a sore subject. There's gotta be some give and take there, and we're gonna have to work that out.
yeah.
It might be just, you know, one of those things where we're gonna have to contribute a little bit more so we can, maintain that, you know, I just don't like the idea of anybody coming in and saying, you can't play on this field because we worked on it and we got a game coming up in 6 hours, and, you know, so.
The biggest difference that I see where we are now, where we weren't a year ago, is that we only had 2 parks. And they were fully populated, overpopulated. The need was greater than the supply. And then that's where we had the friction.
Well, I know we've done a lot, you know, we provide a lot more space, but I'm telling you, I'm still completely against anybody putting a lock on any field at any time.
Right, well, but when you locked that particular field and you locked everyone out, you know, there was no other option. But now we've got so much more, and just like at Waterford, let's use it as an example. I guess it was a soccer and a softball that was competing at the same time. Well, so you could take the softball out of the equation. They could have their own place here. Well, then that opens up soccer. But anyhow, I'm happy where we are. It's not gonna be easy. Everyone is not gonna be happy when we have these discussions. But yet, at the end of the day, where we have more fields, there's more opportunity for the kids and the community to utilize. But we'll work through it.
I think it's pretty simple. If you got enough fields, you just go in there and delegate who's
Yeah.
going where.
They don't have to cooperate a little bit more with each other, which hasn't been so much in the past.
So they're gonna have to get together.
Right.
And that's what I shared with these two guys.
They've done better this year than they have in years in the past, as far as working with each other and coordinating their efforts, so hopefully we can continue that, but,
Get over it for the
Right.
kids. and-
But-
I think they've been optimistic because they see us trying so hard to fix their problem.
and I think it'll be, I think it'll be okay as long as everybody still keeps an open mind, but,
Right.
all right, well,
But anyway, I just wanted to share that while we were on parks. Anything else? Parks? All right. Move on, safety committee, Dan?
Nothing to report.
All right. Solid waste, Jim, and I know we're gonna discuss Rumpke here in a little bit, so.
That's it?
All right. Veterans, Dan?
Nothing to report.
Equipment, Cotton, we've got Todd here.
Yeah, we sold the post driver up at sale Saturday, I don't know when it's brought just yet.
3,500, I think.
What was it?
3,500, I
What
think.
was it you sold?
Post driver, surplus.
Yeah.
And I'm working on getting some, quotes for some half-back bush hog this upcoming spring. Quotes on that, but look at, so. That's all I've got.
All right. And then Todd, we'll pick up on you here in a little bit with the other equipment. Telecommunications, Zach?
Nothing to report.
All right. Administrator Cole, Corey?
Before that, one housekeeping matter, I don't think we actually had a vote on that second, the Willet planning and zoning thing. We got-
I think you're right.
Bogged
We
down in
failed to vote.
questions and,
Okay.
chased some rabbits, so. we will
Okay.
Go ahead and vote.
All right,
We had a motion from Jim and a second from Zach.
Okay, y'all, did y'all hear what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah, we failed to actually vote on that one zoning change from the Willis property. We had a motion and a second. Any other discussion on that? All right, we're voting on the Willet planning zoning change. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? Motion passes. Appreciate that correction, Corey.
Happy to do it. Administrative code report, I didn't have a chance to talk with Nick Wilkerson about, I know last time we had the animal control ordinance. There's some changes, and with the holiday and COVID hitting our office, it's kind of been a, catch-up thing. And then also had a call in with the Nelson County Attorney's Office, and there was discussion with, about the Humane Society arrangement with them. His office had COVID last week, so hopefully talk to him today, and then we'll get back with you, hopefully by next week.
Yeah, I kind of feel that that probably will drag into the new year.
Yeah, it likely will, but that was just an update, because I know it's kind of been hit and miss in terms of actually getting in contact with people, so, yeah, provide that update.
All right,
Otherwise, nothing else.
okay, thank you. Tourism, Economic Development, Dan?
Couple things. One is, so the economic impact statements from 2022 came out, and they projected, their figures say that the county received, or $10 million was the economic impact of tourism in Spencer County. So that's the state does that. Couple other things is, there's some big events coming up that tourism is involved in. One of them is the bicentennial celebration. So it's coming up real quick, July. Seems like half a year away, but half a year goes by pretty quick, especially when you only meet twice a month. But without somebody to lead that, I don't know how that's going to work out. So, and they did come out with their projected agenda for next year for things that, they do a lot of things that a lot of people don't know to bring tourists into the county. They put pamphlets and stuff in the rest areas that people, and they're constantly replenishing them, so people are taking them. And those people are contributing to the $10 million that we, basically the county got from tourism and economic development. So, it's a,
Clarify that, the county does not receive that 10 million, right?
No,
it's
the county
$10
does.
million in economic
Yeah,
development. So,
economic activity.
it's, we do receive tax money from that because if we get, say, if they eat at a restaurant, or they go to a country mart, or they, rent a B&B or something, then there's money that comes back to the tourism or the county from that. So it's just an economic impact statement, just means it's like when they have a big event in Louisville and they say, well, okay, that's.
$10 million was spent in Spencer County for this. I just want to
Yes,
say
in
it doesn't
Spencer
come-
County.
It
So it
doesn't come back to the,
No, it doesn't come back to the county,
I
but
just
it's
wanted to-
$10 million in economic development.
I just want to clarify.
And Dan and I was talking about this, and we said that they gather that number up by counting, like, how many people went to the park, how many people went to the lake, what were some other.
Well, that was
understand what
that was
it
the
is.
10 million. I misspoke the other day when I said, but it doesn't, they didn't have a figure on how many people
Yeah,
come into
yeah,
the
it's
county,
dollars.
but it's dollars. It's $10 million is what the state, and that was for 2022. So it should increase in 2023, but they don't have the numbers, of course. 2023 is not over, so.
I mean, you guys all know in the summertime, if you stop at Country Mart for any reason, you know, the boats are there. And we know they're coming into our community with, hopefully their pocketbook open. Anything else, Dan?
That was the only thing I had for tourism and economic development.
All right, thank you. And again, we'll continue to work on the bicentennial, like you said, it'll be here before we know it. Yeah, it is 7 months away, but we probably only got 3 or 4 months to get it planned. When you look at it, can't be planning it the week before.
Yeah.
So, all right, building and grounds, Will?
I don't really have nothing. There's no good way to secure a 20-foot Christmas tree from the courthouse. So, there needs to be a plan, because we need a Christmas tree now, I think.
Yeah.
I failed the citizens to figure out how to put a Christmas tree out there.
You're gonna cut one down and go bring it down?
I'll bring the tree if somebody wants to put it up.
Why won't you volunteer to do that?
Me? No, I'm not volunteering. I don't want to put it up because it's a liability, but I will bring the tree.
Well, we don't want the tree laying there and so.
Yeah, I come up with a lot of ways to secure it, but it's more permanent. The tree's gonna be there all the time, there just won't be no, branches on it next year. But I think we need a tree up like now, and it's just about Christmas. So, I know Scott said something about artificial tree, which really.
Did you talk to the Main Street dude?
No, I tried, I may not have the correct phone number, but,
He seemed like he was all about getting it up if you could get the tree.
Well, this Saturday is a big celebration.
We gotta have something done for it.
I know the mayor reached out to me, and she and I are supposed to
Can't dig a hole, put it.
light a Christmas tree somewhere.
yeah, it'd be all right, and real windy, 20-foot posts, I'm not putting very many of those in the ground.
But
I think we need to make action and get a Christmas tree though.
we can be like the Who's and Who deal. They didn't have a tree, but they still celebrated Christmas.
I don't know, how did it work, you know, out there where all the flags and stuff, when I was younger, you know, there was a big tree out there. Do y'all remember that?
Yeah, where the fountain is.
I don't know how that was done.
I don't know. I remember.
I think the Main Street Committee took
Yeah.
it down.
If you're gonna put it in that gravel lot, you could drive stakes in the ground and.
Need to go to the concrete plant and then 4,000-pound blocks. Let them put a PVC pipe about yay big down in
Well,
there.
a 20-foot tree, the base is this big around.
Yeah,
Yeah, shimmy it up a little bit.
yeah.
Or just put the tree in the block and then pour it around.
Well, you can put the PVC pipe, put it down in that block. And of course, I don't know, you still may have to put a cable if you get a 20-foot tree.
You need some cables or some sort.
Yeah.
Which kind of takes away from the look too.
But anyhow, we'll continue
Yeah,
to work on it. And
Ask the White
again,
House. how they
You got any ideas?
I want to.
Oh,
no.
Put a 20-foot pole up there and run some wire.
Yeah.
Yeah, just run,
Yeah, just run them down.
look like a tree at night.
Just,
I suggested to the ladies in my office about this tree on this side. They thought that was an ugly tree, and I'm going to the cartoons of Charlie Brown Christmas, they had a little old tree with one leaf. And when they got done, it was beautiful.
I think that's
Y'all
probably
be
a
optimistic.
good solution. Put a real tree up there, put a 20-foot pole up there, and just run the lights down that look like a,
How do you get lights that stick out?
you just run them on down the top and then
Oh,
stake
you're
them
talking
into
to
the
the
ground.
ground.
Yeah, so it's in the shape of a tree.
there's a guy on 55, I don't know if he still does it, that, when you're going out towards Shelbyville,
Todd
usually
Rosebuck
each
can do
year,
that, right?
he's got a big one that's.
You got a pole truck?
Yeah, I've seen him, Ron.
No, I don't.
You let me down.
I got
That's
that.
the wagon.
I ran out of
Probably
Christmas
first
cartoons. Lights are a problem, so.
With wheels, right, we got to figure out something.
I mean, during the daylight though, it just looks, that street's not good.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, Christmas will come all the same.
We need a tree.
We've got two little ones out here, brother.
We need a better tree.
Anyway, all right,
Well, that's what your project for next year can be. You got a whole year to plan it.
we got hope in everybody, so. All right, anything else?
I just think the Christmas tree is took over my mind.
We'll let you off, have a candy bar. All right, multi-purpose, Joyce?
Don't let that tree drag you to drink.
Yeah.
It's really, I felt like a failure. I just really want a big tree.
I failed to mention a minute ago, Joyce, you got Steve Conti, we were talking about tourism. If y'all haven't met Steve, here he is over here, that we voted to appoint last meeting. Welcome, Steve. Thanks for joining us. All right, Joyce.
Hi, I'm Joyce Arms, I'm with MPCAA, I noticed on the agenda, what is this? We are multi-purpose community action agency. We are part of the Community Action Program that was funded and founded in 1964 by the Economic Opportunity Act, and our goal is to fight poverty and empowering the poor as part of the war on poverty. We are located here in town, 44 Creekside Drive. We actually are the second smallest community action agency in the state of Kentucky. We are operating out of Shelby County, Bullitt County, and Spencer County. We do have one program that we oversee in Jefferson County. But today I'm just here to let you all know, kind of educate you a little bit on the fact that we're here and what we do in the community. Many of you have probably heard of the Line Heat program. That's the low-income heating assistance program. That's us. We administer that program. We normally have a subsidy program and a crisis program. The subsidy program is to help the senior citizens and the low-income, fixed income, to get through the fall to prepare for the winter, and then the crisis program is usually from January to March to assist them when they do hit a crisis situation, such as being out of propane or late on their electric bill and subject to disconnect. Now, to help with that, we also administer a weatherization program, and I did put a pamphlet in there on the weatherization program, and it really does an excellent job of explaining that program, so I'm not going to read it to you. But we administer that program, and what that program is designed to do is to tighten up the household so that the electric bills are reduced, or the heating bills are reduced to begin with. Very fortunately, we have another program that's tied into the weatherization, and it's a weatherization ready program. A lot of homes we have to defer because they're just in such bad shape we cannot get them repaired to the point to where we can assist. But we now have a weatherization ready program which can do some minor repairs to the home, which allows us to continue with the weatherization program. And it is, all of our programs are income based. But the weatherization program is at 200% of poverty, where most of ours are 130%. So more people qualify for the weatherization program. And it's designed to help not only the seniors and the lower incomes, but also the working families. The families that are out there that are actually going to work and trying to make ends meet, but they just need that little bit of help. This program is excellent for that. We have a senior center. It is located at 44 Creekside Drive. We do senior activities, and I put another a piece of paper in there that shows you the senior center and goes over all the activities that we do there. We are only open in Spencer County on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 2, but they do receive lunches, hot lunches. Our staff do advocate for the seniors. They do have educational programs, and we do field trips. We actually do take them off-site. They went to Shelby County to one of the farms just last month, and then out to eat. So we do try to get them out and amongst the other population as much as we possibly can. We have the food program, which is, we have the produce, the TFAB, the senior boxes, and emergency food. There are no requirements for any of those programs. I have a list in your packet. There are no income guidelines on any of these. For the produce, there's no age or income qualifications, and it is distributed every Friday morning until it is expended. The TFAB is based on income, so I didn't speak properly before. You have to be the 130% income, and they distribute food on the second Tuesday of the month until it is expended. Any of you that have driven past Creekside Drive on a Tuesday or a Friday, you will see cars lined up 7 o'clock in the morning. They're waiting for us to open at 8:30 to get their food, or to get some. We also offer senior boxes. Guideline there is you must be 60 years of age or older. That's distributed the second Thursday of the month. You pull up and our staff brings the box out to your trunk. Real simple process. We have an emergency food pantry. It's open to all residents in the county. All you have to do is self-declare that you have a need, and you are limited though to 1 box per month. And all of our donations for the food pantry come through the Dare to Care program. We just had the Boy Scout drive, and then we also have local residents that contribute funds for us to purchase meat, and we have a few hunters that have donated meat in the past. So it's an excellent program. We're really fortunate to have it. We have Goodwill vouchers. Anyone that was struggling anytime throughout the year with having clothing for their children, or they've had a fire in their home. There are no income guidelines on that program. There are no restrictions on what we can give to a family. Now, we're going to give more to a family who has lost everything and has no insurance in a fire. It may be even they need more than what we have, but we do have the ability to contact Goodwill and tell them of the situation, and they are very good at giving us what we need to help a citizen in our county. We have a winter care program. That program is, if you notice on your utility bills where it asks for donations, that's where that funding comes from. It's all funding donated through our own citizens. And what we do with that is we supplement the LIHEAP programs with that funding. Let's say you've come down with COVID, you've had to miss 10 days of work, you have no sick leave left, you can no longer pay your utility bill, you've already used the LIHEAP funding. You got to do is give us a medical bill and we'll help you get back on your feet and get back to work. The senior center manager could not be here today because she is training someone in our Shelby County office. But I did bring with me Laura Purdue, who is our Community Services Director. She handles all of our low-income programs. And then Marcia Fenwick is our Director of Weatherization, and she passed out the information. If you all have any questions, you can reach out to any of us. We will say, I do want you to know we operate on a $3 million a year budget. It's all federal grants, state grants, local government grants, our contributions, and we appreciate your all's support, donations, and volunteers. Without all of those, we would not be in existence. Laura has included in the packet a community needs assessment. We are asked every year to gather those. If you could sometime in your busy day, take time to fill that out and get it back to me or to Judge Travis. He can bring it to the board meeting. Or you can go online. There's a way you can go online and fill it out. And that just lets us know what the needs are in our community, and then we can share that information with CFHS, and then we know more about where to send our funding. Do we have any questions?
Any questions for Joyce?
Or Marcia?
Yes.
Just thank you for what you do.
Thank you. We appreciate your all support.
You know, yeah, hang on, Joyce. I mean, the bottom line is to every resident in Spencer County, if they know